Hello everyone, my name is José Rubens Martinez, but you can call me just Martinez. I'm a software engineer and I've been working as a QA analyst for 3 years in an agile team. I started this channel for two reasons. Firstly, to practice my English and get used to those terms in English as I work for a Portuguese team. And secondly, to share solutions for daily problems and some specific improvements or suggestions of best practice that you can do in your daily basis that I've learned through my experience time and in this amazing area called quality assurance. In today's video, I'm gonna teach you the easiest way to create selectors for web testing automation so you're never going to struggle again. Firstly, I'm gonna use a tool called ChroPath to help me identify the selectors, but you can use whatever tool you prefer. You can find ChroPath in the extensions web store of your favorite browser. In this case, I'm going to use Chrome browser because I like it. So here is the extension. But to use it, you're going to have to use the DevTools. To see what tags and attributes you gotta use for the selectors, you have to type F12 of your keyboard to open the DevTools, where we can see the elements of the page and use the ChroPath to highlight the fields that we want for the web selectors. Like here, we can see all those divs. You can use the button Inspect and then click on the field or button that you want to create the selector, like this. As you can see the highlight, it shows all the area of the, in this case, label or this input field or this link or this button. When you click on the field or button, it's gonna show you the position of the tag or the element on the elements here on this list. In this case, it is a button. As you can see, it have all his info that we are going to use, like this type, submit, or those classes. So if you click on ChroPath here, next to styles, if you can see the tool here, you can click on these arrows and it's gonna be here. You can drag it from here to here. After you click on the inspect and click on the field, or in this case on this label, the ChroPath will give you some options of selectors and you can choose to use any of them or create your own right here on this selectors field. So to use the ChroPath, you have the selectors field where you can type the tag or unique attributes of the field or button to highlight it, showing that the selector is correct and matching the guy that you want. We are going to start with unique identifiers. Unique identifier is any attribute of the tag that is not used in other tags. It can be a CSS selector like an ID, data attribute, or type, for example. To create a selector using an attribute identifier, you just have to select the field and then see what are the attributes of the tag that may be unique in the page. And in this case, it is an ID. To create a selector using attribute identifier, you just have to select the field and then see what are the attributes of the tag that may be unique in the page. And as we can see here, for example, if we click on this guy in the header, we have, for example, this ID, top bar. So in this case, we are going to use this ID, which means this guy is unique. To see if it is the only one used, you have to do this because sometimes for example, they can forget that they already have a ID with the same name, even it should be unique. Sometimes they just forget and they create another one with the same name, so you could end up with two matching names, even it being a ID. So you have to make sure. You have to type in the selectors field of the ChroPath here. You type hash and the name of the ID. In this case, it is gonna be top bar, and then type enter. As you can see here, the header is highlighted with a dashed green color, and also in the ChroPath you can see only found a single match, meaning it is unique. Now, I'll show you an example of a bad practice that you should avoid. The use of position-dependent selector. In this case, we are going to select this input here. We have to start the selector by typing /, then the name of the tag, which is input, and type enter to see if we found what we were looking for. In this case, we found 7 matching elements. Now, to use the position dependent selector, we put the selector inside parentheses at the end and at the start, and then between brackets we type the number of the position. For example, 2 enables us to select this second child. If we type 1, we select the first one, and so on. You should avoid using position-dependent selectors because they are flaky, and any simple change or update in the HTML of the page could end up screwing your selector or even your whole script. That's why you must always aim to use unique identifiers, as it is not going to change, we hope so, and may be always exclusive in the page, making your selectors reliable and as well as your scripts. This time we are going to deal with a dynamic ID. It can be a full hash, meaning you'll not be able to use it, but in this case it is half, which makes half of the ID reliable for unique selectors. Just to clarify, dynamic IDs means it is gonna change every time that you reload the page. We start with /, then the tag name, in this case, is an input. Now we use brackets, and inside the brackets, we are going to use a function called contains, which is going to look for matching words. And remember, this is case sensitive. If there are any blank spaces or capital or lower cases, which is different from the source to the original text, it is not going to find it. We type the contains, then parentheses, inside here. Now the parameter for this guy, we are going to use @id, comma, and the next parameter is the text of the ID that is not dynamic, which in this case is the email we could use to the start of the hash. However, in this example, I'm going to use only the start to the end of the email. Between simple quotes, we are going to use the email, which is the not dynamic part of the ID. Now, when we press enter, we have a perfect matched selector. And now I'll show you this XPath selector, which you can use for literally anything. There is no kind of selector you can create with this one. Let's do this using this password field. Firstly, we have to find any anchor point on the page close to the password field, like this forgot recover password or this label password, which is unique and is right above the input. So we select the label password, and now we create the selector for this label. We type /label. We found two. We want this one. As you can see here, it is label for senha. So we are going to use this attribute to differ between those two. So between brackets contains parentheses, now the parameters, at 4, comma, simple quotes, senha. All right, we having this matching the right guy. Now, how we can go to the password field? You can use slash dot dot, then press enter. You see the difference right here. When you use the slash dot dot, you move to the footer of this element, meaning we are going to hug all elements around the password label, which now enables you to select the password input by simple typing / input. This trick guarantees you to create any selector. However, you have to pay attention on its complexity and to make sure you always use a anchor point close to the aimed field. And the last one is the select tag with options, which is gonna be here. We type F12, open the ChroPath, use the inspect, click here on the combo box, which is the select. And to do this one, we start as well as the others by the tag select, typing / select, only one matching. Now we use again double slash, and now we select the tag option. As you can see, we have 6 elements matching. Now, how can we select the option that we want? In this case, we are going to use this guy here, this one. Double click here to copy the text. I recommend you to do this always because sometimes there are some blank spaces between or at the end of the string or at the start. So doing this, you guarantee that you are not leaving anything out. You copy this guy. So to create the selector, after option, between brackets, we type contains, and the parameters are gonna be text, which is another function, then comma, and between simple quotes, we paste the text. And when we press enter, we have this perfect match. And how you know that you found the correct guy between all those options? If we see here, the only one which have this xpath equals 1 is this guy here, which we used on the selector. If we change, for example, if we click on this one and then click enter here again, if you see here, there is no matching because I clicked on the other one. If we type enter again, it is back here, xpath equal 1. In the future, I can do another video explaining some other types of selectors, but right now it is more than enough for almost everything. I hope this video helps, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, or drop a comment with any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. See you in the next video.